Sofia wandered through the old mansion, her eyes drifting over dust-covered furniture and faded curtains, the air thick with memories she had never lived herself, but felt drawn to every step she took in the grand hall. Her gaze fell upon a large portrait hidden behind a velvet curtain. The figure in the painting seemed familiar, yet distant, the face of a man with piercing eyes and a kind smile, a man she could not place, but something in her chest tightened as if she knew him from somewhere deep in her soul. She reached out to touch the frame, her fingers trembling. The room felt colder, as if the walls were holding their breath. She stepped back, her mind racing, questions swarming like a storm. Where had she seen this face before? Why did it feel like a missing piece of herself? She could not explain, yet could not ignore the strange pull that made her stare for what felt like hours behind the portrait. Sofia noticed a small envelope tucked in the corner, its paper yellowed with age, the handwriting delicate and careful. She picked it up, her heart thumping inside her chest. The letter contained a name, a date, and words that seemed cryptic at first glance, yet carried a strange weight, as if destiny had whispered them into existence. She read aloud the name, her voice barely a whisper, and a chill ran down her spine. The letter spoke of a secret long buried, of a father unknown, of promises made and broken. The ink had faded, but the message was clear. Someone had wanted this truth hidden. Someone had wanted her to remain ignorant, but fate had other plans, and Sofia knew the moment had come to uncover the story that had been waiting for her all her life. Sofia could not sleep that night, the letter clutched in her hand. She replayed every memory, every fragment of stories her mother had told her as a child, stories that now seemed incomplete, as if someone had left out pieces on purpose. She decided to search for answers, starting with the mansion she had visited the previous day. Every room, every corner held whispers of the past. She discovered an old diary, its pages brittle and fragile. The handwriting matched the letter she had found. The diary told of a love forbidden, a union broken, and a man who had vanished from their lives before Sofia was born. She read each line with growing fascination and fear, each word a thread connecting her to a man she had never met, yet felt closer to. With every heartbeat, the diary spoke of encounters under moonlight, of promises to return, of a longing that never faded, and a secret that could not be spoken aloud. The pieces were coming together slowly, but the picture was still incomplete. The next morning, Sofia returned to the mansion, hoping to find more clues. She wandered into the garden where roses bloomed despite the cold. The air smelled of earth and forgotten time there. She met a stranger, a man with a calm demeanor and eyes that mirrored the portrait she had seen. The stranger introduced himself as Adrian, his voice smooth but layered with curiosity. He claimed to know about her mother and the portrait. Sofia felt a mix of fear and hope as he spoke, hints of truth spilling like breadcrumbs across the path. He told her of encounters with her mother, of letters exchanged and secrets guarded fiercely, of a father whose absence had shaped her life. Without her knowing, she listened intently, every word, feeling the invisible connection strengthen between her and the man she had only seen in paint and memory. He seemed to appear from nowhere, yet he held the key to everything she had been searching for, and more than anything, she wanted to trust him. Adrian led Sofia to a hidden study behind the mansion, a room filled with books, maps, and artifacts of a life she had never known. The walls were lined with portraits and photographs, each telling a story that felt intertwined with her own. He handed her a small box. Inside were items that belonged to her father, a watch, a letter, a photograph of him smiling beside a young woman. Sofia's breath caught as she examined each piece, her heart pounding as if it recognized the presence of someone it had longed for all her life. The clues formed a puzzle, a story waiting to be told. She realized that every detail mattered, every object a message from the past urging her to uncover what had been concealed. The room seemed alive with memories, and she could almost hear whispers urging her to continue, to seek, to ask, to remember, to confront the truth, no matter how shocking it might be. Determined to learn everything, Sofia decided to confront her mother. The conversation was tense, her mother hesitant, eyes filled with sorrow and fear, but unable to hide the truth any longer. She spoke of a love lost, of a father forced to leave, of promises she could not keep, of choices made under pressure, and Circumstances beyond her control, Sofia listened, tears streaming down her face, a mixture of anger and understanding. Flooding her heart, she realized that the secret had been meant to protect her, yet its concealment had also left a void, a longing she had never understood until this moment. Every word her mother spoke painted a clearer picture of the man she had never known in the life that had been silently waiting for her to discover it. She felt both closer and further away from him, knowing she had to meet him to complete the story. Adrian guided Sofia to a small town where the man in the portrait lived. Quietly away from the world, she saw him for the first time in the flesh, his eyes, exactly as she had imagined, gentle and sad yet full of warmth. He looked at her as if he had been waiting all his life. The meeting was filled with emotion, words unnecessary. As their eyes spoke volumes, he introduced himself as Daniel, the man who had loved her mother, the man who had vanished but never forgotten. The moment was overwhelming. Sofia felt the connection. She had always yearned for his presence, filling the emptiness she had carried for so long. They spoke of the past, of choices, of regrets, of love lost and found again, in fragments and glances, in stories exchanged, every moment deepening the bond she had unconsciously sought, every heartbeat echoing the realization that the portrait had been a sign, a guide, a doorway to this moment of reunion. As Sofia spent time with Daniel, the pieces of the mystery fell into place. The portrait, the letter, the diary, the stranger Adrian had all led her to this moment of revelation. She discovered that the secrets her mother had kept were not meant to harm but to protect, a legacy of love and sacrifice hidden behind walls of fear and pride. She realized that the man she had been searching for had always been part of her story, even when absent, even when unknown. The shocking reveal was not only in the discovery of her father, but in the understanding of her own strength and the depth of love that had quietly shaped her life. Every clue, every step had prepared her for this truth, a portrait, a secret, and a father she never knew, now standing before her, ready to be part of her life in ways she had only dreamed.